33例，均为境外输入病例。
imported
当日
cases.
新增
On the
死
day,
亡病例
new deaths, 4.
当日新增治
The
愈出院病
day,
例
newly cured and
491例，
discharged from
解
hospitals,
除医学观察的密切
491.
接触者
Those of medical
1210
observation on the day,
重症病
1,215.
例
Severe cases were reduced by 174. As of 24 o'clock, March the 24th, the reports from provinces, cities, and Xinjiang Production Construction Corp. Remaining confirmed cases 4,287, including 1,399 severe cases. Cumulatively cured and discharged from hospitals 73,650. Cumulative deaths 3,281. Cumulatively reported confirmed cases 81,218. Remaining suspected cases 134. Cumulatively traced close contacts 693,223. Those who remained under observation as close contacts 13,356. There was no new confirmed case, no suspected case, no remaining suspected cases in Hubei. In Hubei province, newly cured and discharged from hospitals 487, including 472 in Wuhan. New deaths 3, including 2 in Wuhan. Remaining confirmed cases 3,828, including 3,794 in Wuhan, including 1,368 severe cases in the province, among which 1,358 in Wuhan. Cumulatively cured and discharged from hospitals 60,810, including 43,686 in Wuhan. Cumulative deaths 3,163 in the province, including 2,526 in Wuhan. Cumulatively confirmed cases 67,801, including 50,006 in Wuhan. In the 24 hours of March the 24th, newly reported imported confirmed cases 47, 19 in Shanghai, 5 in Beijing, 5 in Guangdong, 4 in Tianjin, 4 in Fujian, 2 in Inner Mongolia, 2 in Jiangsu, 2 in Sichuan, 1 in Jilin, 1 in Zhejiang, 1 in Shandong, and 1 in Shanxi, respectively. As of 24 o'clock, March the 24th, cumulatively reported imported confirmed cases 474. From Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, cumulatively reported confirmed cases 628, including 386 in the Hong Kong SAR, 26 in the Macau SAR, and 216 in the Taiwan region. On March the 24th, there was no domestic new confirmed cases, no domestic suspected cases starting from today, apart from Wuhan. In other cities of Hubei, the transportation network has begun to be gradually restored and resumed according to WHO. On the day, the new confirmed cases across the world was almost 40,000. As we resume business gradually, we should keep an unrelenting focus on the 4 earlies to prevent domestic resurgence and external importation. This has been the updates of the epidemic. Now we'd like to take questions from the floor. Please identify yourself before you address your question. Journalist from the first row on the right side, please. Thank you. With CNR of China Media Group, we know new technologies including 5G, big data, cloud computing, artificial intelligence may play an important role in the resumption of business. What are those specific roles, and how can we leverage their roles to deepen our efforts? I'd like to ask DG Xie Shaofeng to take the question. Thank you for your question. In response to the COVID-19, and as we are gradually resuming business operation, we have achieved world-acclaimed achievements. And one of the most important reasons is the leverage of scientific technologies, among which Internet, 5G, big data, blockchain, and artificial intelligence have played an important role in the COVID-19 response and resumption of business. On 28th of February, MIIT issued a policy circular on leveraging new technology to promote the resumption of business and response to COVID-19. Up till now, the implementation have shown great effects. In support to COVID-19 response, some health institutions has been leveraging big data, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and other new technology, and precisely carried out monitoring and analysis of the disease, the various source tracing, the tracing of close contacts, and the community management. Artificial intelligence, big data, 5G technologies have been used to accelerate the testing of the virus, the development of a vaccine and new drugs, and to promote and accelerate prevention and control. This has improved the efficiency of our response. The manufacturers have been leveraging the Internet platform to provide precise supply of the medical supplies, their allocation and recovery. In areas where there has been accelerated efforts in resumption of business, in response to the delays, manufacturers have been guided to use information technology to deepen the software, apps, artificial intelligence usage, and use of augmented reality and VR virtual reality to promote unmanned manufacturing, remote maintenance, and other new business forms to accelerate the resumption of manufacturing capacity. Some localities have been giving full play to the role of flagship companies. These companies have been leveraging the big data platform to coordinate risk control, ensure the supply chain well-functioning, and make a preparation for flexible transfer of manufacturing capacity. With information technology, the supply chain has been kept safe.
Some places are using cloud computing to have enterprise clouds and have remote work, working at home, video conference, online training, collaborative R&D, and e-commerce, and other online modes of work. Thank you. Thank you. The floor is open for questions. Left side, first row, second female journalist, please. Thank you. I'm from Hong Kong, Zhongping City. Now, the overseas situation of the epidemic is very serious. Sometimes people are hiding the information and underreporting the confirmed cases. And for the personal privacy information disclosure, how does MIIT to ensure the privacy is protected when using big data? I would like to invite Ms. Han Xia to answer the question. In order to meet the needs of journey check when having resumption of work and operations, we entrusted China Telecom, China Mobile, and China Unicom and another agency to have analysis of big data to offer communications, journey card, trip card services. China Mobile subscribers can use WeChat small apps, QR code, and web page to make inquiries about the places you have visited over the past 14 days. Currently, cumulative clicks or inquiries have reached 450 million times. For the trip card, it has 4 characteristics. First of all, it is usable across the country. Second, it is safe and reliable because it does not require the ID number and the home address of the users. And for detailed inquiry results, for example, if you have been to a city, it is only shown on your own mobile phone. And third, authentic and accurate. Since the trip card uses communications and online data to get the addresses information, you don't have to fill out the information. It will be automatically updated. Fourthly, it has very wide coverage. Now there is 1.58 billion users of a mobile phone. For smartphones, non-smartphones, you can both use it. Epidemic is getting more and more serious overseas. Starting from March the 6th, on the communications big data trip card, we realized the inquiry function. That is to say, you can make inquiries into the places you have visited, overseas places you have visited over the past 14 days to avoid misreporting and underreporting, to have screening of the people who have been to places with the epidemic. We have different color codes for people visiting different places. When using big data, we pay a lot of attention to personal information protection. According to the laws and regulations on personal information protection, we are ensuring personal information protection and security. We use minimally usable information to get the inquiry. And we're also doing the masking of the information. I've also designed anti-attack, anti-breach, anti-theft protection technologies to ensure that the data is secure. Up to now, the communication big data analysis has not seen any case of personal data breach. Thank you. Floor is open for questions. Right-hand side, the second row, the male journalist at the side. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm from Oriental TV. For SMEs, when using the next generation technologies for operation resumption and work resumption, they are facing a lot of difficulties. Therefore, while empowering SMEs with such technologies, what measures have been taken by MIIT? Thank you. I would like to ask Mr. Qin Zhihui to answer the question. First of all, thank you, dear journalist, for your question. This is a very good question. MIIT has been expanding the development of empowering SMEs with information and communication technology. We can summarize it as follows: resumption, nurturing, refining, and upgrading. Resumption means using IT technology for prevention and control of epidemic so that SMEs can resume operation as quickly as possible. Nurturing means nurturing new technologies for online work and online education and training so that we can nurture collaborative manufacturing and customized manufacturing. And throughout the chain, it means to make digital platforms that cover the different nodes of the supply chain so that SMEs can get the resources on the platform for the supply chain. Upgrading means to promote SMEs with the conditions to make digital transformation so that they can have lean production, agile manufacturing, smart management, and decision-making. In order to realize those, we have dedicated measures. In summary, there are 4 aspects. First of all, we have mobilized a group of digital service providers with good services and good capabilities, with good products and services. Second, we have recommended a group of model enterprises for SMEs in the application of such technologies. Third, we have promoted SME Cloud Service Conference and SME Empowering High-End Forum and a series of other events. Fourth, we are using WeChat classes to have smartization, digitalization in training. Thank you. Thank you. The floor is open for questions again. Left side, second row. The first female journalist along the aisle. Thank you. I'm from China Global Media Group. With the epidemic, there are new trade formats and business formats emerging. It means opportunities for those enterprises how to consolidate such achievements and support the digital transformation of the economy. I would like to ask Mr. Xie Shaofeng to answer the question. Thank you for your question. During the prevention and control of the epidemic, the application of the new generation of IT technologies and the demand has had a lot of increase. Many industries have become the important experimental field of these new technologies. The whole society has had a better awareness of IT technologies, and in terms of the acceleration of the application of such technologies, they are paying more attention to the application. To a certain extent, it has quickened the pace of digital transformation of enterprises. In many industries, new formats, new models, and new achievements have emerged. In the future, we will further consolidate these innovation achievements and formulate policies for related digital transformation and quicken the pace of the transformation to inject a new vitality into the economic growth. First of all, we will accelerate the digital new infrastructure construction and give full play to the roles of 5G data centers and industrial internet. Second, we will strengthen the layout of the systems and organize and implement digital transformation of the manufacturing sector and action plan, and formulate new generation IT technologies applications and standards that are urgently needed, and promote enterprises to get onto clouds and use more and more clouds, use clouds more and more, so that production, operations, management, service provision can apply more and more digital technologies. We will foster digital-driven enterprises, and we encourage enterprises to use digital transformation to strengthen organizational change and innovation. Thirdly, we will build systematic and multi-layer industrial internet platform systems to have digital management of platforms, smart production, online collaboration, and customized manufacturing and the extension of services. We will nurture platform economy, shared economy, a value chain, industrial chain economy, and more such things on clouds to increase the overall competitiveness of the industries. Thank you. Floor is open for question. On the left side, third row, second journalist in black. Thank you. I'm from Hong Kong Business Daily. Yesterday, MIIT issued the notice on accelerating the development of 5G, asking that the 5G network construction should be accelerated to minimize the impact of the epidemic. What is the current situation of 5G network construction? What are the measures taken for acceleration of the construction?
谢谢您的提问。
DG Haixia is taking the question. Thank you for your question. Recently, President Xi Jinping has made several important suggestions on the acceleration of 5G development. MIIT has been firmly implementing the suggestions. On top of previous efforts, we focused on application, technology, and safety. We use the infrastructure as the basis. We use the information security as the guarantee, and we facilitated 5G development. As you've mentioned, yesterday we've issued a new policy circular on the acceleration of network deployment. Telecoms will focus on the 5G rolling out in the countries, in the cities. In particular, the well-conditioned counties will also have a 5G infrastructure network. The electricity supply should also be guaranteed. In some places, telecoms will prioritize 5G development up till now. By the end of last year, the 5G stations numbered 130,000. This year will accelerate the efforts. Second, will deepen the conversion in application. Industry plus 5G was named as a 512 project. The Internet of Vehicles will also come in, promote its application in health and other vertical industries. On consumption front, the packages will be promoted. 5G plus VR, 5G plus AR will also be applied to nurture new consumption modes. Third, we'll also accelerate technological innovation, organize the study and research on the virtual network, ensure the implementation of major projects, support the components, research and development and industrialization, consistently promote the experiments, in particular the microwaves and the iteration studies to ensure the innovative capacity. Fourth, we will also ensure the infrastructure safety guarantee, conduct safety testing, establish the remote sensing, the event tracing, and other safety assurance packages. Prior, during, and after the event, there will be whole cycle data monitoring for safety assurance, nurture a sound and safe ecosystem, innovate the administrative ecosystem so that it is a safety governance with the participation of various industries. Thank you. Next question, please. Journalist from the fifth row on the right side. Thank you. With Hong Kong Economic Herald, we've learned that during the epidemic response, some SMEs took the lead in resuming their business. What were the approaches adopted by MIIT to encourage SMEs? I'd like to ask DDG Qin Zhihui to take the question. Thank you for your question. Specialized, financial, innovative SMEs indeed have shown higher risk resilience. Statistics showed that these SMEs in Hunan and Sichuan provinces have seen a resumption rate of 98%. They are called the small giants. These data has fully shown that it is appropriate for us to guide SMEs to follow a development path of specialized and innovative development. MIIT's efforts in promoting such development can be summarized as 4 ones. First, we follow the one pathway of fostering quality SMEs. We have nurtured provincial level, specialized and innovative giant SMEs. It was a gradient development of these SMEs. The second one was we fostered one system across the province. MIIT has issued the first tranche of 248 giant SMEs. So these one tranche of pioneering SMEs have played a demo role. The third one was one dynamic database of SMEs were established. Once enrolled into this database, SMEs can enjoy some favorable policies and can receive one-to-one, one-on-one support. Fourth, we've provided some training, some favorable financing support. And during the annual expo for these MSEs, we've set up a dedicated zone to promote intellectual protection so as to empower and enable these SMEs development. So these 4 ones have been our approaches to promote these specialized and innovative business development of us among SMEs. Thank you. Next question, please. With the China Media Group Financial Channel, the industry internet's development has called attention from across the society. What has been their role in the COVID-19 response? What will be their role after the response? I'd like to ask DG Hanxia to take the question. In the COVID-19 response and the resumption of business, industry internet has played real roles. It supported the connection of supply and demand. Some of the major platforms very quickly connected supply and demand, helped manufacturers to make a precise assessment of their manufacturing and alleviated the tight supply of masks and protective suits. Second, contactless manufacturing was also assured. Digitalized and smart transformation was carried out by leveraging the industry internet platform and reduced the contacts among people, accelerated resumption of business. Well, digitally transformed businesses have even realized the achievements that the manufacturing was not stopped, though there were no workers on the assembly lines. Industry apps were established to ensure a low turnover rate, lower the technology threshold, and help the businesses to resume their business. Many localities have used a one-click system to file the registration of the businesses and can have the immediate knowledge and information of the information from these businesses as to what is the status of their business resumption, so that businesses don't have to go to the government offices so often to apply for certain procedures. Internet of the industry is the master choice for the long-term development. It has huge investment needs. It can drive the consumption market. Recently, to implement the State Council and Central Party Committees deployment acceleration of the development of industry internet, we've adopted 20 measures on 6 fronts. According to Information Communication Research Institute's forecast in 2019, the added value was 2.13 trillion RMB. It is expected to reach 3.1 trillion by 2023.
Thank you. Floor is open for question against left side, second row, the female journalist. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm from Economic Daily. I know that with the epidemic, the biggest data traffic pressure comes from the overseas operator network, and several overseas operators have seen an emergency. So for the broadband and 4G and 5G networks of China, how is their performance during the epidemic? How to ensure smooth operations of the network? I would like to ask Ms. Hanxia to answer the question. Thank you for the question. Since the outbreak, in order to ensure smooth operations of the network, telecom community has worked very hard to realize no jam, no service interruption, and no reduction of service level. It has withstood the test, and years of infrastructure construction has made sure that the infrastructure of ICT is among the best in the world, and we have finished the construction of optic fiber 4G base stations, more than 400,000, accounting for 50% of the global total. And for villages, 4G coverage exceeded 98%. Network scale is among the best in the world, with very good performance. During the outbreak, newly constructed base stations of 4G and 5G exceeded tens of thousands, which further consolidated the consolidation of the network. We have also strengthened the application of 5G networks and finished the communications construction for Huoshenshan Hospital and Leishanshan Hospital very quickly. Second, the infrastructure has provided support for new treatment, for example, cloud office, cloud medical services, and cloud education will not be realized without the new generation technologies, a new generation network construction, 5G plus telemedicine, telework. Through several years of successive efforts of increasing the speed and lowering service fees to ensure accessibility and affordability, we have made sure that the operations are very smooth. Basic telecom operators and telecom regulatory authorities have monitored the performance to have science-based trending analysis to ensure bandwidths and servers are adequate. Operations and maintenance people and service people are on the duty 24 hours, and people in more than 30 countries are also on the duty, standby anytime. Up to now, for the total telecom sector, 357 person times have participated in the smooth operations. More than 140,000 vehicles have been used to have ensured the smooth operations of the network. That's why telecom networks of China have been very stably operated. Thank you. Left side, fourth row. The female journalist in white, please. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm from Ximen Evening Daily. According to our knowledge, in order to have resumption of work and operations, new consumption modes have been promoted by MIIT, for example, 5G plus 2, and the new ways of shopping. Can you elaborate on those measures in the future in order to promote the release or unleashing of consumption potentials? What measures will be taken? I would like to ask Mr. Xie Shaofeng to answer the question. Thank you for your question. In order to promote resumption of operations and work and unleash the potentials of new ways of consumption, we have organized the industries to have collaboration and give full play to the advantages of 5G technologies and explored and nurtured a series of applications utilizing 5G, for example, 5G plus for e-commerce and virtual navigation. People can use mobile phones to have cloud navigation of the shelves and warehouses. They can have a 360 degrees view. In Beijing, Guangdong, Chongqing, Jiangsu, Jiangxi, more than 100 enterprises have been using it. In terms of utilization of cloud with AR, 5G plus AR and VR, cultural performances, sports events, scenic spots, stadiums have realized indoor and outdoor live broadcasting. We have also expanded VR glasses and steering rods to meet the needs of consumers. In smart education, we have built remote interactive teaching, VR and VR, instant messages and immersed education, and also intelligent evaluation to upgrade education, campus services, education management, and education evaluation. In the future, we'll work on 3 aspects to promote the further development of new ways of consumption for upgradation, which have emerged through in the epidemic, so that they can grow and further develop and become new growth drivers. First of all, optimizing policy environment for sectors or areas that have been greatly affected by the epidemic will provide stronger financial support for them. And second, we will have inclusive and prudent attitude to nurture new formats and new ways of consumption for smooth and sound development. And thirdly, we will explore the experience centers of new ways of consumption to promote traditional businesses to transform into a model of integration of online and offline through IT technologies. Will make sure that it will have local features. And thank you. Floor is open for questions. Right side, fourth row, female journalist at the side. Thank you. From the cover news. Thank you, Mr. Morita. We noticed that the new types of infrastructure construction has received a lot of attention from the media. You have also talked about new generation IT technologies and its role in the prevention and control of the epidemic. I want to know what kind of roles have been played by such technologies, and how will MIIT to promote the development of such technologies? I would like to ask Mr. Xi Shaofeng to answer the question. Thank you for your question. Digital infrastructure construction will provide support for future economic and social development with new types of infrastructure. Accelerating digital infrastructure construction in the near term can give full play to the role of investment in economic growth and alleviate the pressure of economic slowdown. In the long term, it can nurture and develop new growth drivers of the economy and improve government's modernization governance capacity. Digital infrastructure construction mainly means digital-related hardware and software development, including the network, as Ms. Han has mentioned just now, data centers, cloud computing platform, computer softwares, etc., centering around 5G, internet, data center, etc., will accelerate the process and make the industrial chain more modernized. Here I would like to focus on two aspects. First, fundamental software. We'll have a major project of software to address the bottlenecks of critical software to ensure the softwareization of industrial technologies and accelerate the use of such technologies. In terms of cloud computing, we will elevate the capacities of infrastructure of cloud platforms to improve computation, storage, network, and secure protection, and other cloud services to promote SMEs to move onto the cloud and promote large enterprises, financial institutions, government institutions to migrate their systems to the clouds. Thank you. Floor is open for questions. Right-hand side, third row. Male journalist. I'm from Shenzhen Satellite TV. My question is, there are many SMEs and netizens who are interested in getting these favorable policies, getting the information on these favorable policies, and how will MIIT to help these enterprises to enjoy these favorable policies? Thank you. I would like to ask Mr. Chen Zhihui to answer the question. First of all, I would like to thank you for your question. During the epidemic, in order to help SMEs to overcome the difficulties, both central government and local governments have issued a lot of favorable or supportive policies.
SMEs can access these favorable policies through 3 channels. First, Chinese government net. We have set up a thematic policy database in which there are the favorable policies for SMEs, and we had a good summary. Second, on the media release by the government departments, there are also a column for the services provided to SMEs. There are 3 sub-columns for e-governance, for the affairs. It was a one-stop access for one-stop services will be provided to the SMEs. And third, on our portal network and website, we have put up the policy guidance to guide the SMEs to respond to the epidemic. The services have been correlated with the favorable policies, so it can navigate the SMEs to have knowledge of favorable policies. So these are the 3 channels for SMEs to get informed about the favorable policies. In our survey, We have been told that many SMEs didn't know the existence of the favorable policies. Therefore, during the epidemic response, we've focused on the following efforts. First, we give full play to the State Council's leadership group's role in urging localities to implement the favorable policies. Second, we've issued policy notices to guide localities to implement the central government's policies, in particular, the services of financing to the specialized, sophisticated, innovative SMEs with unique processes. Second, we've carried out online survey to make inquiry into the implementation of these favorable policies. We've also developed and put online a small app for the self-check by SMEs. SMEs take up more than 99% of the total enterprises. So we have delegated the checks to SMEs. SMEs can use this app to understand their scale and then correlate their scale to the favorable policies that are dedicated to these sides of SMEs. Thank you. Next question, please. Journalist from the fifth row on the right side, please. Thank you. With South Metropolitan News. What has been the role of AI in epidemic response? What will be the future steps adopted by MIIT to promote AI's use in the prevention and control of diseases? I'd like to ask DG Xie Shaofeng to answer the question. Thank you for your question. During the COVID-19 response, AI was effectively used in monitoring, in diagnosis, development of drugs. According to incomplete statistics, 20+ AI systems have been used in the front line, including Wuhan, Hubei province, and 100+ hospitals. They are serving confirmed and suspected cases and covered 100,000 person times. Businesses focused on AI plus CT and contextualized functions, including using a combination of CT and on-cloud deployment. And this has increased the efficiency of screening and improved the accuracy and precision of diagnosis. Down the road, we will further combine AI with medical treatment by rolling out proven practices and summarize the use of AI in assistance to the COVID-19 response, summarize best practices, promote and roll out the best practices so that the efficacy can be felt by more health institutions before it can reach scale development. Second, AI manufacturers can use these real-life data to consistently improve their technology and products. Besides, we will also promote its utilization in more areas, including the follow-up visits in communities, allocation of medical supplies, assistance to diagnosis and treatment decisions. Besides, we will also build and optimize long-term coordination system between the AI manufacturers and health institutions by encouraging health institutions to open the database and disclose the application scenario so as to improve the AI technology in real life. Thank you. Next question, please. Thank you. With People's Daily, JKB, media reports have it that by the sudden surge of mobile phone users, it might be because of the check of COVID-19 related information. DG Hanxia is to take the question. During the epidemic response, the data technology has been used vitally to support the COVID-19 response and the resumption of business, reopening of schools. There has been a sudden surge, according to our incomplete statistics, in the first 2 months. 23.5 billion GB usage was seen, a worldwide increase of 44.2%. And the monthly access saw a worldwide increase of 42%, the peak in the past 12 months. Yes, indeed, we've noticed that recently telecoms, in disclosing their performance, there has been a decrease of the mobile phone subscribers. Our survey inquiry into the 3 major telecoms found that the following results: impacted by the epidemic. In February, there were many outlets of the telecoms could not be opened, though online services remain open, but many customers were accustomed to visiting a brick-and-mortar store. That's why there was a slowdown in the new mobile phone subscribers. Some existing mobile phone users, because of the inability to resume business, have seen a decrease in their income, so they have cancelled some of the idled telephone numbers. And besides, with the acceleration and improvement of the quality of services provided by telecoms, some of the mobile phone users who use the 2 mobile phone numbers don't have to use the 2. They can combine the 2 into 1. But I believe with the resumption of business, the mobile phone subscribers will continue its rise. According to latest data, in the first 22 days of March, the annual increase of the mobile phone subscribers was only 24,900. It was an increase of 11% over that of the previous month. Thank you. We can take last 2 questions. With People's Postal Telecommunication newspaper, technology has played a major role in ensuring the schooling without the opening of schools. I'd like, how would you elaborate on the technology's role? I'd like to ask DG Hanxia to take the question. To ensure that schooling is still provided even when schools are still closed, the Ministry of Education collaborated with MIIT and set up cloud education. We collaborated with Telecos and Baidu, Ali, Tencent, and the major telecommunication tycoon giants. We allocated 7,000 servers, bandwidth of 90T, to ensure that even 500,000 students can be online at the same time.
According to the need of Ministry of Education for the platform, we organized internet companies to mobilize computation, storage, and distribution resources to ensure the smooth operations of the platform. We organized telecom operators to ensure the bandwidth resources to ensure smooth operations of the network, and text messages. Since the opening of on February the 15th, the platform has organized 119 discipline courses, and by March the 24th, primary, secondary, and senior high schools, more than 1,000 classes have been broadcasted. And the view times was more than 990 million times, and more than 195% times of students have watched the classes. And with the hard work of the technical personnel, the network has been operating smoothly. In the future, MIIT will continue to make coordinations to ensure that the students can continue to learn during the epidemic while not at school. Thank you. Last question. Left side, 5th row, the second female journalist, please. Thank you. I'm from Everyday Economic News. SMEs have been affected a lot in the epidemic, and MIIT on February the 19th have issued noticed about 20 measures to help SMEs through the epidemic. What are the effectiveness of the measures? Have you conducted evaluation? Thank you. I would like to ask Mr. Qin Zhihui to answer the last question. First of all, I would like to thank you for your question. Up to now, operation resumption rate of SMEs have been on the rise steadily. According to MIIT monitoring of the SMEs using cloud platforms, on March the 24th, by March the 24th, SMEs operation resumption rate has reached 71.7%. Compared with February the 23rd, it was an increase of 42.1 percentage points. I think this is a very big change. As you, dear journalist, pointed out on February the 9th, MIIT has issued that document to offer guidance to local governments so that they can provide services for SMEs to resume operations and work. In that process, the specific work of MIIT is mainly reflected in the following aspects. First, formulation of policies. First of all, policies by MIIT to offer guidance to local governments to help SMEs to resume operations. Second, we promote other government authorities under the State Council to offer policies of phasing down, of lowering down the tariff rate or a tax exemption during the special period of epidemic, offering special interest rate to SMEs, and exemption of payment of interest, etc. There is an interagency mechanism under the City Council for helping SMEs. We are giving full play to the role of that mechanism to formulate policies for SMEs. At the same time, we formulated the action plan on empowering SMEs so that we can use the internet and digital technologies to empower SMEs. That is the first aspect. Second, make the services more specific. We guide SME regulatory authorities of local governments to accelerate the formulation of financial support for SMEs resumption operations. We have also launched online WeChat classes for SMEs to get training. Currently, online courses have been available for more than 70 training courses, and overall visits has exceeded 3.8 million times. So we offer policies, we offer management expertise, and we offer training for SMEs.